I have finished incorporating all the stitches around the top of my sock from setup round 2 into this leg section now. So here is where I started. These are the stitches that I cast on for my leg, and I worked back and forth this way, incorporating the stitches from this edge all the way around the sock, and I ended up back where I started here. I ended on a wrong side row, so my needle tip or my yarn is at the top edge of the needle. So now what we're going to do is join these two pieces together. And the first thing we're going to do in that joining is to shift this needle so that the tip is at the ankle end instead of at the top of the leg end. And I'm just using a circular needle. If you used a double pointed needle, then you probably don't have to do anything. But for the circular, just pull it so that the tip is down at the ankle end. Now what we're going to do is use the other end of the circular needle to pick up stitches along the edge of our cast on. And if you're using double pointed needles, you can just grab another double pointed needle. So to do this, you want to put your working yarn underneath the cable or the needle that you've got coming out of the edge that we were just working on. And over here on the other side, we're going to be picking up 31 stitches along here, and we're going to pick them up through each of these cast on loops on the edge. So my first one, try to hold this so you can see everything that's going on, is going to be this one down here on the edge. Alright, so my yarn is going under the needles, and here we go. We're going to insert the yarn from the front to the back. Going to wrap it around the needle just like if we're knitting, and pull the stitch back through like that. Now you want to tighten this up because we're sort of joining the top edge here with this first stitch that we're picking up. Now we're going to keep going. So we're working through the edge stitch and wrap it around and pull the new stitch through. And you're going to keep doing this all the way down that cast on edge until you have 31 stitches on your needle. And when I get to that point, I will come back and show you. I've finished picking up 31 stitches along the cast on edge. That's the stitches on this needle. So now I have 31 stitches on each needle. Both needles are pointing down toward the ankle of the sock or the heel. And at the top edge of the sock, there's just a tiny bit of yarn between the two needles, so they're essentially joined up there at the top. Now what we're going to do is do a kind of a stretchy style of a 3-needle bind off to join these stitches together. So to do that, we're going to turn this so that now our needles are together, our tips are facing toward the right, our working yarn is over here on the right side, and what we need now is a 3rd needle because it's a 3-needle bind off. So just grab any other needle in your size that you're using. I'm using size 1. And so to do a standard 3-needle bind off, you insert as if to knit through the front needle, then insert as if to knit through the back needle, wrap the yarn around as if to knit, pull the stitch through each needle's loop, and then take it all off the end. So you've taken those two loops and knit them together to become one that's on the right side needle. We're going to do that again. So insert in the front, insert knitwise in the back, wrap, pull it through the two loops, and then off the end. Now we're going to make this a little stretchier than a normal 3-needle bind off by doing one additional step here. We're going to now knit these two together through the back loop. And to do that, you're just going to take one of these tips. I like to use the back one. Insert it through the front of these two stitches you've got on your left hand needle. And then wrap it and pull your yarn through. Oh, I missed it. One more time. And then take those off. Now we're going to get into a repeating pattern here. First we're going to do knit two together over here on the left hand needle, and then we're going to knit two together off the right hand needle. So we're just going to continue to do that until we are just left with one stitch on the right hand needle, and that's where we'll stop for clue 6. So I will keep doing this bind off until I get to the end, and then I'll come back and here it is after I've finished doing the bind offs. So I did my modified 3-needle bind off all the way to the edge. Here's my last stitch that was on my right hand needle. I've just pulled it up so that I don't lose it. And what we've done is a very tidy little row of seaming, and it is on the outside of the sock, and some people might think, well, that's kind of strange, but really when you consider the crazy quilt theme of this sock, where we have a lot of textures and edges and lines, it fits right in. And also it's on the inside of the ankle, so it's not the most in a most showing place anyway. There are other ways you can close this. If you choose to, you are certainly welcome to graft the two sides together. You could do the 3-needle bind off so that the ridge is on the inside if you want to do it that way. But this is the way I've got it written for the pattern, and I think it's kind of cute. So on to clue 7.